I guess we should ask about Sunday, right?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you did an awesome job. I haven't heard anybody, this business is built on people being angry and people complaining. And I think one of the greatest things you can hear is this. Not a single person I've talked to has said a negative word about your broadcasting. Like that's like telling somebody in real life, you're the one. Mm-hmm. That's the equivalent, because our business and social media is built with negativity. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about one of your broadcasts. How much pressure did you feel for your first major league game?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you saying that. And I'm more of like an under-promise, over-deliver type of person. So the fact that nobody complained on my first one and the Cubs hit 6 home runs and they won, like, I have the call on Friday, man. It's tough to live up to that. So there's a lot of pressure. But leading up to it, I'm not normally somebody who feels nerves. But I think if you would have asked my wife, she's like, yeah, he was nervous. He was anxious. He was ready. He was anticipating it. And I think especially like the 24 hours leading up to it, we're like, come on, like I want to do this. I've been waiting for this for a really long time. So on Saturday night, I was in St. Louis. I was there for the doubleheader, there for the losses. Went back to the team hotel. My wife was with me, and my wife said, hey, like, let's go to the bar. I'm like, no, like I want to go up. I want to prep. I want to sleep. She's like, no, just like one drink. When she says one drink, that doesn't mean one drink. But all right, fine, we'll go. I'll have a water. So I go there. She has her phone camera on me. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And my 3 buddies from college came and surprised me, which completely like changed the entire course of the weekend. Like, I didn't think that I was feeling anxious, but then recognized like when they came there, my attitude and us having a couple drinks, like I was definitely anxious. I was definitely nervous. And my support system being there just helped so much. And then Sunday was just pure adrenaline. Yeah, you show up to the ballpark, you kind of have to like pinch yourself to make sure that it's real. Then the first Cubs home run, second Cubs home run, third, fourth. Okay, 6 Cubs home run. And then by the end of it, just staring out at Busch Stadium, it was, it was cool. It was awesome.
Yeah. So I'm curious on because obviously we know like minor leaguers, the dream is to go to the major leagues. They grind out all these years in the minors to get, fulfill their lifelong dream, get to the big leagues and play big league baseball. But on the broadcaster side, like you're grinding it out too at Iowa. Like sometimes me and Cody have been there with you. Like you're by yourself sometimes, or most times in that booth calling games on your own, and you get that opportunity to finally call a Major League Baseball game for the Chicago Cubs. What does that overall mean to you? What does that mean to you after all this time of you calling minor league games to get that chance to do a major league game?
Everything. It means absolutely everything. Especially being able to do it for the Cubs. I've been with the Iowa Cubs since 2018. That's almost 50% of my professional career. As most of you know, like I grew up in Philadelphia, but I fell in love with Wrigley Field when I was in college. Like I went to Indiana University. All my friends went to, who went to IU or from Chicago. And they said, you know what, like come to Wrigley, you'll love it. And me being the natural antagonist that I am, I'm just like, nah, like it's fine. It's not like Philly's better. Cool. And I remember going there my freshman year of college. I went up to Chicago for a weekend. We were going to go to one game. It was Cubs Marlins. It was 2008. And I remember going there and the bleachers and just like soaking it all in. And we went Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We went all 3 games. Like I fell in love with the Cubs and I fell in love with Wrigley Field and Wrigleyville then. So to be able to do it for that organization and then do it on Friday at Wrigley, Friday, 120 game, day baseball, like, I mean, the hair's sticking up on my arm. Like, I can't wait.
Yeah. Luke really... he mentioned that he didn't see anyone say anything negative about you. And to take some pressure off you, Alex, I'll just say that for me, it was just nice to hear a familiar voice because I don't watch Iowa Cubs every single night, but I see all of the clips of guys hitting home runs.
I don't love that.
Okay, well, I have to watch. I have to watch the Cubs for a living, Alex.
Tell you what, me and Luke watch every night. So you know,
they obviously do. They're better than me. Okay, but the point is that I think a lot of fans, especially in this current era, as we're watching this team grow, a lot more people have been paying attention to the Cubs minor league system. They're watching guys like Matt Mervis and Alexander Canario and all these other names that people have been talking about the last couple of years. And so they're hearing your voice a lot. So when you are on the broadcast, you already resonate with a lot of fans. And I think that certainly helps
For sure.
your case in terms of why, at this point, no one has complained about you. But obviously, I think that you are great at your job. And when me and Ryan got to go to Iowa last year, you let us go in the booth, call an inning with you.
Cool.
That was really cool. So it couldn't happen for a better person, man. So I have to say, listening to Cubs on TV or watching the Cubs on TV for the first time and seeing someone call a game of someone I personally know was a surreal moment for myself. So it was a cool thing.
No, it was. I appreciate that, Cody. It was awesome all the way around. And no, I think it helps that I've seen a lot of these guys. I've been here with Morel. I've been here with Hap. I've been here with Steele. You look at the bullpen, the majority of them have been with the Iowa Cubs. So just getting to know those guys and be with them when they're one step away from the big leagues, it makes everything connect a little bit better. And I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to be able to build relationships with these guys, professional relationships with these guys, planning their travel. I mean, when you're in the minor leagues, you're doing a little bit of everything. So I'm planning team travel for them. I'm getting them free golf tee times. I'm trying to play to their strengths. So no, I mean, I think that the entire weekend was really special. I think that Marky did just a tremendous job. I didn't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. They just rolled out the red carpet. They made the entire day special, and Friday I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm actually curious. How did that all come about? Like, how did they tell you, like, hey, we want you to come? Like, when did that happen? Like, how did this whole thing even kind of happen?
No, it's actually a really cool story. So we were on a 12-game road trip in June, and in the middle of that 12-game road trip, I came to Chicago for like a day. Usually during my off days, I like to watch more baseball. I'm a sicko. So
I remember seeing you in the clubhouse. Yeah,
cool stuff like that. So I went to Marquee, filmed a podcast with Tony Andracki, Andy Martinez, and then Nick Steger, their director of programming, calls me into his office. It's like, hey, what's going on? We have a pretty good relationship, and it's like, what's going on with you? I'm like, no, nothing. Like, I'm in the middle of a 12-game road trip. It's a grind, but I'm here in Chicago. It's great. What's going on with you? He's like, oh, no, nothing much. We're doing some cool stuff here over the next couple of weeks. I'm like, oh, what do you got going on? He's like, like you making your big league debut. And I'm like, what? And I'm just like looking around the office, make sure there's no cameras. I'm not being punked. I'm like, seriously? He's like, yeah, you're a big leaguer. You're making your big league debut. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
And it was awesome, man. I mean, and Nick's the best. I mean, he, kind of set it up perfectly, and just the way that they've carried themselves around this process and making me feel involved and part of the team. And it was incredible.
Awesome.
I think one thing for me that stands out about his broadcast, Alex's broadcasting, is that it's comfortable, right? You never feel forced. You had 6 home run calls. Heck, this season, I don't know if you were ever going to have a home run call if you did a Cubs game, but you had 6 of them in one game, and all of them were comfortable, didn't feel canned. And I haven't seen a young play-by-play guy as comfortable as Alex in baseball. The only other one I can think of is Brian Anderson when he was in San Antonio with me. And then now he does
writing that down,
everything.
Right?
He does the Final Four, the national championship, golf, whatever. He does everything.
So you're talking about way back.
And Brewers, but like he was doing the same thing Alex does. I don't think people realize how hard that path to the big leagues is. All the things you've got to do, all the grinding you got to do to get to that level. When did you decide you wanted to do this for a living? Like, what was the first step in that path?
Anywhere between age 6 and age 16. I think that just growing up, I knew that I wanted to talk. I had older siblings that used to play video games and wouldn't let me play. So in order to make my presence felt with authority, I would broadcast those games. I went to a sports broadcasting camp when I was 12 years old. So I knew from there it was an interest. But then in high school, my buddies and I started the sports broadcasting club at our high school. Did every sport imaginable. I think our second broadcast ever was a powder puff football game. And just being able to like let that resonate and how much fun we had doing that. I'm like, oh, it'd be pretty cool if I could do this like my entire life and get paid for it and not have to do anything else. So 15 years later, 20 years later, here we are. I think there's been multiple stepping stones with that, going to college and going to Indiana University and doing student radio, and the feeling when you do your first radio show and the feeling when you do your first baseball game and football game and basketball game, like the adrenaline that comes like permeating through your entire body. So yeah, I would think it's, oh boy.
Keep going, Alex.
Keep going.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. We got disconnected.
We have some technical difficulties. It's fine.
No, not a problem. That it just permeates through your entire body. And yeah, I think just during those stepping stones with college and then calling your first minor league game and my first spring training game, it just reinforces the point of, man, like this is the best job ever.
Well, you do a great job at it. We're looking forward to the game on Friday as well.
We all silly like the mayor.